Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. This is the story continues. Number 46, I think. Hope you are having a manageable week. It is Friday, thank goodness. The weekend is coming up. I hope you have something interesting planned or something where you can restore yourself for the following week. Okay. It's been an interesting week, huh? Lots of things, lots of energy shifts. What has happened this week? I guess the tariff thing is happening, huh? And the stock market is falling, and everyone blames Donald Trump. So he's having a terrible week. Even though, like I said, the face he puts on. What did he say? Let's see what happens. He's going to place tariffs on everyone, and we'll see what happens. We're seeing what happens. Terrible, terrible, terrible. With this, I sort of see, will companies raise their prices? Probably. There will be huge backlash from that. I think, like I said before, I see people sharing their resources. I just see that for some reason, sharing resources with each other, because it will get intense. It's going to not be good in terms of price gouging, and we're not in a recession yet, but let's see what happens. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that people are losing their jobs. Companies are making cuts, and it's a mess. It's a mess. But fine. It's not fine, but okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I saw Pete Hegseth is being investigated by the Inspector General to discuss the Houthi strikes, seeing if he actually followed the rules with the security, him as well as other Department of Defense employees, the ones who are just horribly incompetent. Horribly incompetent and just terrible. Okay, like I did his reading, I did his outcome. There are a lot of meetings about him. We'll see what happens with this investigation. Maybe I'll read about it on Monday and see what it, I looked at his outcome. It doesn't look good for him, but we'll see what happens. Investigations is par for the course, but sometimes you could also take it with a grain of salt. But from what I understand and feel in the energy is that a lot of people don't want him in charge. So even Republicans, even though they're keeping it a secret, they don't, he's incompetent. He's a mess. So we'll see. This for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say here is alleged. Okay. We have a few things to get through today. I did some channel messages. I didn't channel a lot of people, like 1.5, because I've been channeling all week. And there's one person I started to channel, but I'm going to save that for Monday because it just wasn't the right time. I could feel it in the energy. But I channeled Hillary Clinton, and I quickly channeled Kamala. But I couldn't, not that I couldn't connect with her, but it felt off. Not in a bad way. I felt like she didn't have time to talk to me. That's what it felt like in her energy. Okay. But I did make a post about surprise appearance she made at the Leadership Summit, and she did a wonderful speech, and she said a lot of the things I have felt in her energy, and she has said a lot of the things I have felt as well. and Hillary Clinton, interestingly enough, when I channeled her. Very interesting. Really, really enjoyed talking to her. Um, uh, what else? What else? I've been thinking a lot about, this is just a quick conversation, just me sharing my thoughts about people picking up and leaving this country. Um, Picking up and leaving because they feel as though it's not worth it. Or they just feel like they want something better, you know? And not that I'm necessarily thinking of doing that, because my family is here. It's literally the only thing keeping me here, you know? But it's just I wanted to ask if there are any expats that watch me, that view my channel, and I'd like to hear your opinion because I'm just curious. Um, I've been reading articles of people, particularly African Americans, just picking up and, moving to the Caribbean, or even going, moving to um, South Africa, or, Ghana, or, just moving internationally, leaving the country because they feel it's not worth it. And I could see, I understand, I get it. And if I had an opportunity, I would, quite honestly. I have dreams of living in Barbados. It's outside of the hurricane belt, same time zone. Anyway, that's just a fantasy, though. I mean, but you never know. Um, but I just thought to bring that up for some reason. Because I've been thinking very hard about it and feeling very drawn to it, that topic. So if you're an expat and you live abroad, let me know. What's that like? And why did you decide to move on from America? Or you were an expat and you came back. Let me know in the comments I'm just curious, okay? Um anyway, moving on from that. If you want a personal reading, you can click in the description of this video. You will see the link there. Or if you have no idea what I'm talking about, but if you do click more, you'll see the link. You can email me, moonlightergy15@gmail.com, and I'll send you the link. I did put a new reading up there, past loved one readings. Quite enjoying that. If you want me to speak to or channel to a past loved one, I can attempt to do that, okay? For those of you who are still waiting for your readings, they will be coming soon. I haven't necessarily had a busy week. I just was focused more on myself, because I have to do that. I have to prioritize myself. I have to put boundaries on myself, which is why I didn't channel a lot of people today. I can't do too much. I have to meet myself where my limitations lie so I don't get burnt out or stressed. Okay, so I've been very careful about that. All right, but thank you for your patience. It hasn't been too long. I will say that. Okay. So I think that's it. Let's get started. So let's do channel messages. I'll start with Kamala. I just got two. She was really not. She felt very, very happy, first of all. She felt very happy. She felt very good. Cheerful, in a good mood, but busy. Distracted. I just connected because I could tell she wasn't in a space to talk, to chat, it felt like. I asked her about Donald Trump. He said she said, rather, no, he will not last long as president. And then she said he has taken liberties where he shouldn't have. What does it say? This will continue to expose him. That's what she said. And it got quiet. And so the energy, the connection was not strong. And so I just sort of said, okay, see ya. And so she went on her way. Very interesting. New energy. New energy. It felt like she was just literally like, I don't have time to talk. I'm busy. I'm doing things. Other than before, the other times where she was keeping her head low and in this introspection, contemplation sort of thing, I feel her stepping out of that. Okay, I'm going to read for her for the week ahead today. But let's let's get into Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is so interesting and so blunt. When is her birthday? I feel like, let me see. October 26th. I knew she was a Scorpio. I knew it. I just felt it. I could feel it because I felt very connected to her. I felt very connected to her energy because the way she was speaking, there are things, I would say it in that way. But I knew it wasn't me speaking. I knew it was her. But just, I knew she was a Scorpio. Interesting. Anyway, I asked her about what does she think of Donald Trump being president again? And she just said flat out he cheated. Just as he did the first time. I asked her, do you think he will last as president? And she was very amused. She started shaking her head and she said, no, he won't. I can think of numerous reasons why, but we'll see. The thing about everything she said he was going to do, he did. Hillary. And I knew she wouldn't win. I knew that beforehand. I knew she wouldn't win because it was too much misinformation. It was too much. And the way the country was going after Obama, it was clear to me that she wouldn't win. But Scorpios have this way that we just sort of know things. I'm not saying it in an arrogant way. But we just say things like, yeah, that's what's going. This is what will happen. Or we sort of know people. Anyway. I said, is he... Oh, someone's TV is very loud. Then she said, he is under investigation. He has been under investigation. He will continue to be under investigation. Something will stick. Because I said, what are one of the reasons? What are one of the things that you know will happen? Something will stick. Hold on. I don't know what happened. Hold on. Okay. This is here. Okay. Oh, all right. Bear with me, guys. Okay, that goes here. And, okay. All right, this is here. Okay, there we go. All right, I fixed it. Then she said, Kamala should be president. I don't know how this will unfold, but it will be a mess. And I said, do you think he will be exposed for cheating? She said he has been exposed. I don't know what the holdup is. And if you watch Kamala's speech, I posted in the community tab, you could kind of see what she's saying. And then this is Hillary Clinton, guys. And then she said, the slow process is frustrating. We have to move beyond standing by. Something real must be done. She was so, when she was saying that, she was so like, her eyes were wide, and she was just like frustrated and annoyed and just like flabbergasted, just like, what is the issue? She said, I can tell you exactly what will happen. He will make such a blunder of our military, our economy, our foreign relationships, that he won't be able to turn back. The damage will be done. And she's saying, if someone doesn't do something, or if something isn't done, or if we kind of stay in this space of waffling, then it's going to be terrible. It's going to be a mess. The mess that, on top of the mess that's developing in here. Okay? So that was Hillary Clinton. She's so... Anyway. Let's do a reading for the U.S. Collective for the week ahead. So the week of the 7th to, the week of the 6th to the 12th. Let's see how we will be doing this week. Like I said, the month of April is a mover and a shaker month. It is a lot of energy. A lot of energy shifting even more. This is what my guides told me. Okay. Just checking my cards, making sure everything's upright. See, have to be careful. All right, there we go. Okay. All right. Reading for the U.S. Collective for next week, April 6th through the 12th. If you guys have some catching up to do, please catch up on my videos. You're missing a lot of good info. I appreciate you all for watching. Let's see the U.S. collective for the week ahead. Three more shuffles. Okay. Oh, that wasn't a full one. One more. Okay, let's see what this is. 8 of Wands. Very nice. There's that energy. 8 Wands. 8 Wands. 3 of Swords in the bottom there. 4 of Wands. I knew it. Okay. 10 of Swords. Ace of Swords. Page of Swords. A lot of swords. The High Priestess has been coming out a lot for these readings. The Hierophant, the Government. Okay, where does this go? Eight of Swords. Where does this go? Right here. I feel like it goes here. Let's see. Is the Eight of Swords in the correct position? Is the Eight of Swords in the correct position? I'm saying no. Okay. Is the Eight of Swords in the correct position now? Is the Eight of Swords in the correct position? The Eight of Swords in correct position? I can't see. Is the Eight of Swords in the correct position? Okay. We'll see. The Empress. Oh, Queen of Swords. Queen of Cups. Very nice. Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. That goes here. The Hermit. The Fool. Very nice. Two of Wands. Nope, that's the Three of Wands. Three of Wands. feel very tense all of a sudden. Okay. Knight of Wands. Six of Wands. All these, what did I tell you guys? All this fire. All this fire. Some more information will come out next week. Nine of Swords. The more information will come out. This doesn't go here. This goes here. This goes here. Give me overall energy, overall outcome for the U.S. collective for next week. Nine of Swords, Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords, Ten of Swords. Oh, okay, cards are just coming out of everywhere. Okay, so overall outcome, Two of Pentacles. Prioritizing something. Page of Cups. Seven of Pentacles. Building our security. Seven of Wands. Two of Cups. Okay. All right, so let me just double check these things. This is very interesting. This ebb and flow and throughout next week. Does the Fool represent... Wait, no. Is the Fool in the correct position in this reading? Is the Fool in the correct position in this reading? Okay. Just saying yes. Let's check this again. Is the Eight of Swords in the correct position in this reading? Is the Eight of Swords in the correct position? Okay. Saying yes. Hard yes. Okay. All right. Okay, so coming into the week over here, I would say about, this is Monday and Tuesday. These cards here. Wait, before I start. Eight of Wands, Four of Wands, Ten of Swords, Ace of Swords, Page of Swords, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Eight of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Hierophant, the Hermit, Nine of Swords, Three of Wands, Nine of Swords, Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords, Six of Wands, the Fool. So we have one, two, three, four, five major cards here. Pretty cool. Okay, so over here, the Three of Wands, the Eight of Wands, the Four of Wands, and the Empress coming in strong the beginning of next week, Monday and Tuesday. I feel like the Eight of Wands here represents some sort of news that will cause it will cause a feeling of balance for us and perhaps celebration. Okay, with the Eight of Wands here, something, it will be some sort of news or something will progress really quickly. And the Three of Wands is here. And Three of Wands is like waiting on results of something, waiting for something to come in. And it looks as though I'm sorry. This feels serious. This feels serious. Okay, let's see here. You guys see that? All right. Does the Eight of Wands represent news? Does the Eight of Wands in this reading represent news? Is it saying yes or no? It's not moving. Does the Eight of Wands here represent news? Does the Eight of Wands represent news coming in? Does the Eight of Wands represent news coming in? Okay, it's saying yes. Okay. All right. Okay, and the Empress is here. And we always get the Empress lately. The past few readings I have done for the U.S. Collective, the Empress always shows up. This, feminine energy. Empress is about nurturance. It's about rebirth, being reborn. Okay, it's about creating something new, plans, a project, literally having a child. Okay. Hear those birds? The Empress here, I don't know why, but it feels like our future. It feels like really serious here. Plans for the future. That's what I just heard. Does the Empress in this reading represent our plans for the future? Okay, saying a heavy yes. Okay, so our plans for the future. Our plans for the future as a country, as a whole, individual, as an individual. And I always say this as plans, things that we may have discarded, now we're pulling back to us even closer because of whatever this news here or progression here is happening that we have been waiting for. With the Three of Wands. That has caused us this feeling of celebration, this feeling of balance being brought back, this feeling of a security and a solid foundation, this feeling of togetherness even. Okay, so this is Monday and Tuesday. Interesting. So this is Monday and Tuesday, and as we move through the week here, the Nine of Swords, the Ten of Swords, and the Eight of Swords, this feels like the Ten of Swords is in between the 8 and the 9. And the Ten of Swords is, it's a painful ending, but it's also an ending to painful situations. Okay, it's not always the easiest. Why would it be easy? And the Eight of Swords is about feeling of being trapped. But the Nine of Swords on top here. You see that dove Dr. Ken taught me about in one of his readings that I never noticed there was a white dove in this picture, which is, is basically saying like things are actually okay. And that's what the Nine of Swords is. It's like your own worry, your own mental restrictions. It's like you tell yourself the worst case scenario or your worst nightmare is going to come true. But it's in between the Eight of Swords, and it's like we're even telling ourselves that these are, Eight of Swords is self-imposed restrictions. And we're even telling ourselves that we're trapped in some way. Either physically trapped, mentally, But the Ten of Swords is here. And it's a 10. When there's 10, it means it's at the end. And so it's interesting that it would come from all this fire, all this new beginning energy. And as we move into the middle of the week, this feels like Wednesday. Let me double check. It feels like a Wednesday that these feelings will emerge. I don't know if it's residual. I don't know if something will happen midweek that will bring on these kinds of feelings. Okay. Does the Ten of Swords represent, in this reading, an ending of the Eight of Swords energy and the Nine of Swords energy? Okay, saying yes. Because it also feels, honestly, the energy, when I touch these, these cards and look at them, it feels like relief. Okay, because the Nine of Swords encourages you to, let's calm down. Let's not be too dramatic. Yes, things are hard, and yes, but worrying isn't helping you. There's a white dove here. There's it's for protection. You're actually, things are going to be okay. You'll come out on the other side of this. And this is mental restriction. These are self-imposed limitations. But really, the Ten of Swords is here, and that's the end of, that signals the end of painful times, or whatever it is you're going through, you're walking out of the Ten of Swords into something, possibly better, a new beginning, something like that. Because as you move into the week, we have here the Knight of Wands, the Ace of Swords, so new clarity. As you move out of this energy here, whatever this relief is or whatever this is, we move into the Ace of Swords. So we're starting over, which is interesting. It's like we move right out of the Ten of Swords into the Ace of Swords, which is this is one. Okay, so the Knight of Wands showed up again, and this is the card of determination, inspired action. Okay, this is the card of protection as well, as protecting something. Knights, they too bring news, but the Knights, for me, with the Knight of Wands, it's like they're either protecting something or representing something that is ours. Okay, inspired action, sometimes impulsive movements, determination, willpower, our clarity, how we communicate, right? Because the Eight of Swords is here, is maybe this restriction, feeling like you can't speak. But Ten of Swords is here and it's moving into Ace. New clarity, new opportunities for intellectual growth, new opportunities to communicate more effectively, to understand information more effectively. Okay, and the Knight of Wands is this fiery feeling again, this willpower of like, no, we know the truth with the Ace of Swords. Again, we are moving into a space of, it just keeps affirming every week that and the Queen of Swords is here, Page of Swords, we're moving into a space of, this is true, this is untrue. We're moving out of a space of panic and confusion into clarity, decisive action, okay, perhaps strategic planning, better understanding, expansion, growth, less fear, that sort of thing. That's why this feels like residuals, we're acknowledging it and saying like, oh man. But as we move, again, we're moving out of that. Okay, because then you have the Queen of Cups up here, this emotional stability, this going with the flow of life. Okay, not saying you're just like, it is what it is. Part way we do have to say that, but there's a emotional stability here that we're beginning to come into. Okay, so maybe having more compassionate for each other. Like I said, going with the flow of life. Increase in our intuition. Increase in our understanding that, okay, things can get better, or things will get better, sort of thing, with the Queen of Cups here. And that's what the Knight is protecting as well at the bottom. And the Queen of Cups is on top of the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is the card of information, intelligence. Okay, it's the card of intellectual expansion, intellectual learning. Okay, it's a card of wit. All right, so, and it's anyway, I'll get to that. Okay, so with information comes with understanding, right? And you have the Queen on top of the Queen of Swords on top of here. Being able to look at data or analyze something and not immediately crash out. Understanding what is real and what isn't, what is important to know and what isn't important to know with the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Cups is next there, comes the emotional stability. Okay, and going back to the Page of Swords, and it's next to the High Priestess, the Keeper of Secrets. This comes out often, lately rather, with these readings regarding the United States. Okay, and the Hierophant is here. This is the government. And the Hermit is here. Okay, on top of the High Priestess, the secrets. And the Hermit is what? The card of treason, dissonance, roguery, corruption. That's what I've labeled this card as. Perhaps that more secrets will come out here that we will that we will find out. And even with the Hermit here, reevaluate again how we look at our government as a whole. Okay, not just the Republicans, like the entire system. Really give it a good look at what it feels like we'll start moving into. All right, because the Queen of Swords is on top of all of this, and the Hermit here is the thing, the dissonance and the corruption and stuff like that. Next to the Hierophant, which is our government, it feels like we will continue to reevaluate things. Okay. Six of Wands here. Let me see if this is in the right position. I think it is, but maybe not. Is the Six of Wands in the right position in this reading? Is the Six of Wands in the right? Okay, it's saying yes. Okay. Where are we? What time? Okay. All right. Let me just look at this really quick. Because it moves up with the Fool on top. On top of the Queen of Swords, which is very interesting. That the Fool would be. The Fool is sort of like taking a leap of faith for a new beginning. Okay. Six of Wands. Is this more protesting? Because the Fool is here, touching both of these. This feels, with the Queen of Swords, feels very organized. Like, yes, we know what we are going after. We know what's true. We know what's important to know. We know the truth is what it feels like here. We know the truth for sure. And the Six of Wands feels like marching. The Six of Wands, the real Six of Wands, is people is a person marching in to their victory and people are cheering for them. This feels like protesting, like more protesting. Let's see. After figuring something out or knowing something. All this news here. And here is residual, and almost like are these rumors? Is this true? It feels like here. Let's see if what did I just do with? Oh. Does the Six of Wands in this reading represent protesting? Does it represent marching? It's saying a strong yes. Okay, yeah, that's what it feels like. And without fear, just sort of like, oh, we're doing this. That, and this has been coming out so much for the U.S. collective, these protests and this energy. And it always reminds me of what my guides showed me, and the energy I felt in my body, almost as if I was physically one of the people marching. And the feeling inside that I felt was like fed up, like we're not taking this anymore. But there was a power behind it, almost a knowing, the High Priestess, that we're going to get what we want. That's what it felt like. They're going to know that we are finished. We're done. But it will be peaceful because the Queen of Swords is here. And she's smart and savvy and not too rowdy. There's a levity to her as well. There's a wittiness, an intelligence, a strategic sort of planning. I think this energy here is most important in carrying out this Six of Wands energy for a new beginning. Okay. Overall outcome, Two of Pentacles, Page of Cups. This Two of Pentacles feels like prioritizing. It feels like I just keep hearing prioritizing our role. Okay. Prioritizing our plans. This Page of Cups here is part of like our intuition. It's part of a like emotional stability, but it feels like how you do something in a creative way. Okay? Like being inspired here by this Two of Pentacles, this grounded sort of we can't crash out over everything. We have to prioritize what is most important so that we can get to this, get to the space of new creativity, doing prioritizing the information or prioritizing what's the word I'm looking for? It feels like prioritizing and understanding the plans that they have for us. Okay, and helping us expand emotionally in some way without crashing out. I hope that makes sense. Because then you have the Seven of Pentacles, which is about long-term growth and expansion for the future. Okay, making things flourish. Our plans, our finances, our careers, you know, how we can take care of our families, you know, how to provide for ourselves and our families with the Seven of Pentacles here, investing in yourself and your time and your brain and your, despite everything that's happening. And moving towards like wanting to protect that with the Seven of Wands and standing our ground. You know? It feels like we are, next week, we may be armed with some sort of information that will cause it feels like it will cause some sort of domino effect. But not really. It feels like it's been happening in the last few readings that I've been doing, but it's becoming more and more clear and more organized. And the Two of Cups. Look at those two hands. Balance, harmony, overall outcome for us, okay? Balance, harmony, feeling of self-worth, feeling of self-love, okay? Love for each other. Not to be hokey dokey, but this is what it feels like. Okay, guys, so something, it feels serious down here. Some sort of news or something coming in that will cause us some sort of celebration. And as we move through the week, at the end, this is like confirmation of whatever this is down here, and we will be like but next week looks good for us. Okay, that's what we want. We are progressing, even through the circumstances. I'm telling you, even if you don't feel it necessarily, it's happening. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes, but it looks like, I think for the collective, the more we go through these circumstances, and the more whatever this energy is, this shift, or this, like, it feels like the shroud that I saw lifting is making us breathe easier and making us take in things without totally losing it, because we're learning. And I like that. That's what we have to do. I like that. Okay. Let's do Donald Trump. Weekly reading. My guides keep telling me, focus on him. Focus on him. Okay, let's see how. Alright. Cards are upright. Whew, okay. Let's clear the energy here to get some new energy. That's my Palo Santo spray, if you're wondering when I'm spraying. Alright, for the week of the 6th to the 12th, Donald Trump. Remember, guys, my guides show me his truth and the truth. Okay? His truth and the truth. Oh. Alright, let me just shuffle. That was so. There's truth and the truth. Interesting. Same cards as us. Oh, that's 9 of Pentacles. I thought that was 7 for a second. Donald Trump. The Lovers came out. Big choices. 3 of Wands. 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. Okay. The Moon. Six of Cups. Four of Pentacles. Par for the course with him. 7 of Wands. He will be defending something regarding. It goes down here. Money. Something regarding Knight of Pentacles. Judgment again. Where does Judgment go? Looks like it goes here. 2 of Pentacles. Look, we got the same. We always get the same sort of energy, sort of cards. But his is, it feels like it's always, it went like the opposite. He's like always playing against us. 2 of Pentacles right here. I think that goes there. We'll see. 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups goes here. Ace of Swords. The Fool. Look, the same thing. Very interesting. Told me to put it here. Always gets death. He always gets the death card. It always comes up in his energy. Always. This is an into something that it keeps coming up. It said put it by judgment. Okay. We'll see. That was my sister. I'm going to tell her don't knock on my door. I'm recording. I knew she was. Okay. All right. Lost my train of thought. What was I doing? Oh, yes. Let me see if this was in the right space. Is a death card in the correct position here? Okay. All right. Knight of Swords. He got 2 knights. Knight is bless you, Scooter. It goes here. He'll be defending something. Oh, 5 of Cups. King of Wands goes here. Page of Wands. Page of Wands. Page of Wands. This feels like someone's going to bring him something, and to tell him something, he's not going to care about it. This is what it feels like. That's what it feels like. He's going to, it feels like it goes here for some reason, next to the King of Wands. Because it feels like this is him. Or who he wants to be. 10 of Pentacles, his legacy. Queen of Pentacles. Right here. Seven of Cups. His favorite choices. Queen of Swords. The same type of energy. This is a person. This is someone that comes up. This might be us. I think it's us. Okay. What's on the bottom here? Queen of Wands. The Hierophant. Same. 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 Justice. I knew it was there. All of this down at the end of the week. Scooter. Everyone's disrupting me today. You're right over there? Justice. I feel like it goes over here. It goes over here for some reason. One more. The Sun is right next after this 5 of Pentacles. And I'm just gonna pull it because why not? It's his card. I knew the Sun was there. Let's see the overall outcome for the week. The most valuable, well, it's not valuable, but the lesson with Donald Trump is he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Overall outcome for Donald Trump. Queen of Wands. That card wanted to come out. He doesn't care. He does not care. That man doesn't care about a thing. Let me just make sure that justice is in the right position, because for some reason it's like right there. Is the justice card in the right position for this reading? Okay, saying yes. Okay. All right. This looks like a mess, but I promise you it's not. The Lovers, Three of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. The Moon, Six of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Three of Cups, the Sun, Seven of Wands, Knight of Swords, Ace of Swords, Judgment, Death, the Hierophant, Ten of Pentacles, Five of Cups, Justice, Page of Wands, King of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, the Fool, Two of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Five of Pentacles. Overall, Queen of Wands. Okay. First of all, let's look at down here. So you have the Lovers. You have the Lovers. You have the Page of Wands. You have the King of Wands. You have the Three of Wands. Okay? The Seven of Cups. The Three of Cups. All of these here I'll get to, because this is all connected. They're so loud. They always do this. Okay. They do this because I'm the youngest. Three of Cups. All right, so this is us. The Three of Cups here. Let's see. Do the Three of Cups represent the U.S. collective? Okay. Saying yes. We show up twice here, actually. Down here at the end and here at the beginning. These are the protests. Okay. Actually, let me double check because I'm not 100%. Do the Three of Cups in this reading represent the protests? No, it's something else. That's what it felt like. Because I just heard one of my guys say, it is, but it isn't. Okay? But this is us, but it's not protesting. Something else. Anyway, so you have the Lovers here, and the Lovers represent a big choice. You have a choice to make. You have a fork in the road. You have two choices, and you have to decide which is the best choice, left or right. The Seven of Cups is here is about opportunities and choices. Being discerning in your choice, making the right decision, not making the right choice, not making the wrong choice, not being delusional, okay? Being realistic in your choice. And does he have that ability? No, he doesn't, okay? There's a feeling here of not caring, because the King of Wands here, there's something in this area, right? With the Page of Wands coming in. and saying, hey, here's this news. Page of Wands is one of my favorite cards because it is, they throw their staff up into the air and just leap into the air. They don't care where they land. They are risk takers. They take inspired action. They take decisive action. That's what they do. And also with the page brings good news. They bring news. Okay? They bring news. They make awareness of things. And there in this reading, it feels like this page is bringing Donald Trump something, some sort of news that is important. Okay? It could be about justice. It's about us. I know that for a fact. It has something to do with the courts, perhaps. Something that is a warning here. Because it feels like this page is saying, hey, Mr. President, this is the information that is coming down, and this is what, and it's possibly about justice or courts or something with balance, even something maybe that has to do with his life purpose on a spiritual side, spiritual tip, that he will have to make a choice about or care about us. Seven of Cups, the Lovers. And it feels like he doesn't care because this is not good news for him. It feels like this is something that is like, hey, so this is what we heard and this is what's coming down the pike for you. Let's see. Does the Page of Wands in this reading represent bad news for Donald Trump? Okay, saying yes. Okay, clear the center. Does the bad news have something to do with the court system? Okay. Does the bad news have something to do with the court system? Okay, saying yes. Okay. Does it have something to do with the U.S. collective? Does it have something to do? Okay. Okay, it's saying yes. All right. So thinking back to our the collective reading I just did and that news, the Eight of Wands. Okay. So it could be that, whatever that is. And it may have something to do with the courts, or it does. So the cards are telling me, the pendulum. And my guides are saying, yeah. And you'll have to make a choice. Okay. And it's almost like here, the Three of Wands. Okay, I'm jumping ahead. The King of Wands is him not caring. He's just saying, okay. So, I'm the King of Wands. I will. We're not going to listen to the courts. Three of Wands here, waiting for something to come in, looking at something overseas, perhaps. And then in the it almost, I could be wrong, but it's like with the King of Wands on top of the Three of Wands. Okay, he's looking at over at something overseas, perhaps, and feeling protected, maybe, or waiting for something to come from overseas, something that it feels like he's looking at that will help him defend this, whatever he is, like, I don't care. With the Seven of Wands here, standing his ground. He's standing his ground. He's protecting something that has to do with money. The Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is about your long-term security, your long-term growth. The Knight of Pentacles is here, and the Queen of Pentacles is here. This has to do with money. Is it our economy, perhaps? Does this have to do with our economy? Does this have to do with our economy? Saying yes. Okay. Knight of Pentacles is slow moving progress towards, towards your goals, whether it's financial goals, is slow. Okay. And the Queen of Pentacles is, again, stability, long-term security. This is what he's defending. Okay. He's saying, I don't care about this down here. This is of no consequence to me. I'm the King of Wands. Okay? And he's standing his ground. And he's saying, we're going to keep going with this. We're going to stay focused on this. I have protection, perhaps. Because the Nine of Pentacles is investments, is, growing money. This is his delusion. The Nine of Pentacles is about that. He said this is what we need to do as a country, when really he's growing money for other people, not the U.S. citizens. Okay, and the Queen of Pentacles is here on top of the moon, because there's a lot of uncertainty with our economy, with money. But he's blind to that. The sun is here. The sun is here. The space he shows, or the things he ignores, the problems, and people saying, we don't like you. This could even be exposure. Okay? And it's next to us. We see the truth here. We see where the problems lie. And this is what he's ignoring, because the sun is here. Everything's fine. This is a good plan. This is helping the right people, right? As we move here, and the uncertainty, and the Knight of Swords is here. He's like next to the Queen. I know I'm jumping around. Forgive me for that. The King of Wands next to the Knight of Pentacles is saying, this is the protection. Ignoring slow progress with the Knight of Pentacles. He's saying things are steady. And the people are like, because when you move into the Knight of Swords, the sword of truth, strategic planning, shrewdness, decisive action. This isn't him. He doesn't know what he's doing. Because the moon is here. This is what he's saying he's doing. And the Ace of Swords is here. The moon is all touching all of these cards. There's uncertainty. There's no tower here. But there's still the government with the Hierophant here. The Ace of Swords here. They're still talking. They don't have to talk down here. Anyway, the Ace of Swords, we got the Ace of Swords, and it was the new ways of receiving information and processing it, and new clarity and new ways of communicating. That's what the Hierophant here. Wait, no, hold on. I don't think this is in the right position. Is the Ace of Swords in the right position in this reading? Is the Ace of Swords in the right position in this reading? No. It felt out of place. It goes here. Okay. Now is the Ace of Swords in the right position? right. Okay, so now it feels more clear. This goes on top of the moon, the Hierophant. This is his legacy next to the Five of Cups. This is Judgment. Okay, now it's more clear for me. All right, so okay, so the Hierophant, the government with the moon. This feeling of uncertainty with the government. Okay, and the Six of Cups always comes up for him, and the Six of Cups is him looking back, idealizing the past, or wanting to hold on to things. The Four of Pentacles is here, okay, with the Six of Cups, wanting to hold on to things in the past. Well, that was a good idea that we couldn't get through the first time. Let's try it again. Let's see what happens. Learning from your past, being able to look back and say, oh, that wasn't a good idea. Let's not do that at the present moment. That's what the Six of Cups always is about with him. But he doesn't want to let it go. Four of Pentacles. Judgment is here, and Judgment says, hey, it's time to take responsibility. Hey, maybe it's time to have better judgment even. Hey, whatever you put out into the world, it comes back to you. You got to have integrity. You have to, you're transitioning in some way. You're transforming. That's what's happening, and the Death card is next to it. It is happening. The entire collective is transforming, and it, as individuals, we are transforming. He is going through a transformation. Okay? If the Death card is here, it could be a literal death. Five of Cups is here as well. It could be the death of his legacy. It could be the death of this job with the Hierophant here. Either way, something is ending, and it will not feel good with the Five of Cups. Look at the dark shroud that I saw in the mirror. And Death is here. He always gets the Death card. Okay, so we have the Fool here on top of all of this. The Fool represents new beginnings, okay? However, the Moon is here, and the Sun is here, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care, so he's going to keep doing whatever. And the dog is saying, hey, like before, you're about to jump off, you're about to walk off the cliff, right? And he says, let's see what happens. That's what he said. That's literally full energy. It doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing, but look at these cards here. Forced transformation, letting go of things that no longer serve you. Transitioning whether you like it or not. The Five of Pentacles, the card of bankruptcy. Not, sometimes it could be literal bankruptcy, but spiritually bankrupt. You have no friends. You're left out in the cold. You lose everything because you don't want to let go of the past. You don't want to let go of things that no longer work for you. You don't care. You don't want to change. And something is ending. Now, whether the end, we see it next week or not. Like I said, whether we see something big or not, the energy is there, it's happening. By your behavior and your actions. This could be the start of something. Or we could see something. Do you know what I mean? Something's going to come out that we'll see. But also, it doesn't necessarily mean it'll be this huge blowout next week. But something is happening that is not good for him. And we don't want to wish ill on people. However, as someone who doesn't care, as someone who has poor judgment, as someone who does not know what he is doing, we don't want him to succeed. I do not wish him well. Okay? So this please guys keep in mind this whole energy here. It starts here, something not good that he will ignore or not say I don't care. And it will have consequences by the end of the week. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, perhaps. Thursday, Friday. All connected. Okay? Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, Two of Pentacles. He's not going to prioritize us. The Fool is next to it. Okay? Ace of Swords, Queen of Swords. Doesn't know what he's doing. Okay? This is us. The Ace of Swords is our energy, and the Queen of Swords is our energy. Let's see. Does the Ace of Swords, let me use this here. Does the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords represent the U.S. collective? Does the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords is saying yes. Okay? Yes. On top of all of this mess. And the outcome, the overall outcome, or overall energy is Queen of Swords. Willful, greedy. I don't care. He's in a power. He has a power. That energy, King and Queen of Wands energy, is powerful. But it's just adding to his Judgment card and his Death card and his Five of Cups. You see what they're doing? It's so rude. Yeah. Who can I text? I just asked them to turn the TV down. Let's look at the Department of Education. Let's see what's going to happen there. Someone asked me, I forgot to do, for some reason I missed that question, but I knew I wanted to answer it during the Q&A, but I don't know what I was doing. That was the day I was really sleepy. Okay, Department of Education. Let's see, what am I asking? Let's see, first, let's do the pendulum real quick. Sorry for any background noise, guys. Will the Department of Education, hold on. This thing has a lot of energy behind it. Will the Department of Education be dismantled? Will the Department of Education is saying no. Okay. All right. Let's see why not. Oh, the tower just fell out. Show me the outcome for the Department of Education. I can't believe them. Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Um, Department of Education. And this is this is the kind of stuff with this administration doing this sort of thing instead of trying to enrich it and make it better, because the Department of Education isn't the greatest. Public education in this country is not the greatest. Why would they? My expectation for them is not to try and enrich anything. Ten of Pentacles, they take funding away. But it's just like, this is the kind of stuff that I understand why people just pick up and go. I'm not saying anywhere else is perfect, but when you're in your own country, and your own country is just like, I'm not saying other countries aren't the same or similar, but I don't know. You get why people leave their country and come here, and you get why people, black and brown people, or black people, pick up and say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. Because of stuff like this. And this is like a small piece. The outcome. The Empress is on the bottom. Knight of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. It'll be slow if they try to take away money, but it's going to be a slow process. They're not going to have a lot of progress there. Ace of Swords. The Sun. Things will be okay. The Hangman. A lot of the things that he's going to try and do is going to be paused, or it's going to be, he's not going to have a lot of progress with it. That's why it'll be okay. Two of Pentacles. Ten of Cups. Look, parents and children, families. Queen of Wands. Seven of Swords. Right here. It's going to be paused. Eight of Swords. Eight of Wands. Knight of Wands. Lot of yeah, people are gonna take, the Moon. Yeah. The Hierophant. This goes here. Four Cups. Right here. The Devil. Four Swords. Yep. A lot of things will be reevaluated. Let's see what's here. Eight of Swords. Let's see what's on the bottom. The Empress. Let's give an overall outcome. Nine of Wands on the bottom. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. The Strength card here. Overcoming obstacles. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. Nine of Wands and Six of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Swords, the Sun, the Hangman, Two of Pentacles, the Moon, the Hierophant, Queen of Wands, Four of Cups, Four of Swords, Knight of Wands, Ten of Cups, the Devil, Seven of Swords, Eight of Wands. Okay. Down here, with the Moon here, is a lot of uncertainty. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Funding being removed or trying to be removed, but the Knight of Pentacles is here. It's slow moving. It's not going to be easy for him to do this, okay? Even though he has made cuts, I think, but it's not going to be as detrimental as we think it will be, or as people are afraid of it being. The Knight of Wands is here. This is protection. Okay, and even the Knight of Pentacles in a sense, but I feel like this is this attempt here with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse is not going to happen right away. It's a slow progress. Okay, with the Moon on top of it is a lot of uncertainty. This is what a lot of people are feeling, and what's happening, what's going on. Even they don't know what's happening. The department or the administration don't know what they're doing, like I said. But this Knight of Wands is, is this? Of course, I just dropped the card. Okay. I think they got my message. They turned the TV down. They don't know. Okay. What was I saying? Does this Knight of Wands, does this, okay, go to center. Does this Knight of Wands represent the Trump administration? Okay, no. This feels like advocates. This feels like unions. This feels like organizations, you know, stepping up and coming, you know, saying like, even states, the states who care, themselves saying, no, we're not implementing that, or no, this is not how it will go. It's going to be a lot of pushback that will cause this slow progress. Okay. Ace of Swords, Ten of Cups, the Sun, Queen of Wands, the Hierophant is our institutions, our schools. Okay. All of our schools here at the Hierophant, higher education, middle school, you know, and the Ace of Swords is here. Okay. A new clarity and understanding of what to do. Communicating with families, parents, guardians. Okay. Even things being with the sun. I mean, the sun is here. The sun is here. Okay, so things pushing through in the right direction. Okay, a positive outcome. Is she serious? I think they're doing this on purpose. Can y'all stop? You're witnessing the dynamic between my sisters and myself. No, we're close. I love them. But the sun is here. The Queen of Wands is here. Okay, and so I feel like the Queen of Wands could be this willful determination to ensure the safety of our institutions through the parents themselves, through advocacy groups, like I said before, because it keeps coming up here. Okay? And so it's next to the Hierophant. So it feels like it feels like people taking a lot of action behind what is trying to be done. There's work being done, essentially. Okay? And the work being done down here is all this. The hangman is here as a pause in progress. And the devil is here. And the Seven of Swords, the devil is you know who. The Seven of Swords is, doing things in nefarious means. Trying to, at least. It's the card of thievery and deceit. And that's being paused here. Four of Cups is about reevaluation. Okay, the Four of Cups is also about saying, no, we don't want this. We're not going to take it. And the Four of Swords is here. It's reevaluating things. How things are being done, perhaps. Two of Pentacles, prioritizing what's important. Whether it be our laws, whether it be, it feels like the states that care, are going to take a big role in ensuring that things will be okay. Eight of Wands. Quick progression, quick movement forward. Okay, good news coming in. And the overall outcome is the Strength card. Being able to overcome any obstacles, being able to utilize your inner and outer resources. Okay? They're not just sitting on their hands, I'm keeping it real. The states that care. The ones who don't or never cared, really, who has the schools aren't the greatest in their state. They may let themselves be stripped if they haven't already. They don't put a lot of investment into their education in the first place. Okay. Let's look at Kamala. Then we'll be done. What time is it? Okay. Mm-hmm. Kamala for the upcoming week, the 6th to the 12th. Please show me her energy. What time is it? Okay, it's 3 o'clock. Kamala Harris. High Priestess. The High Priestess. Always. Four of Pentacles. Harris. of Swords. Interesting. The Lovers is on the bottom. The World. Seven of Cups. Five of Wands. She has choices to make. She has choices. Let's see. Eight of Cups. Yeah. What is she walking away from? King of Pentacles. Eight of Cups. King of Pentacles. Five of Cups. Next week. Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. That goes here. Six of Cups. Always gets the Six of Cups. Always. Two of Swords. Ace of Pentacles. Two of Wands. Always gets the same sort of, always gets the same cards. Seven of Swords. This goes here. Let me just make sure. Look, she has a Tower again. In the Wheel of Fortune. Seven of Pentacles. Goes here. The Tower. Wheel of Fortune, the Emperor. She has all these major cards. Wheel of Fortune. Let's move this a little bit down because it's telling me it goes towards the end. This is all its own thing. She's gonna do something shocking. No, this goes here. The Emperor. Right here. The Sun. The Lovers, the World, or these are cards. Three of Pentacles. Or those are cards. Because the Lovers is her cards. Right here. Alright, let's see. Overall outcome for the week. Page of Cups. Let's give me another one. She often gets the Page of Cups. Give me an overall outcome. Overall energy for the week for Kamala. The Hangman. Always with the pauses. Always. Starts and stops. It's very annoying. The Hangman and the Page of Cups. You can feel her annoyance. Okay, All right, so we have the High Priestess, the Four of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, the Emperor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Ace of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, the Tower, the Lovers, I skipped over that one, Six of Cups, Four of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, Seven of Swords, and the Sun. Okay. So let's look at the beginning of the week with the Six of Cups, the High Priestess, Four of Pentacles, and Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel like next week people are going maybe either asking her directly or asking, having articles or what is she doing? What is she up to? What is she doing next? And the High Priestess, she may still not answer. But the High Priestess there. It's a mystery. Six of Cups, again, that is her mother's energy. She will be looking back at past wisdom, the High Priestess, that her mother has given her, has told her things her mother has told her to build up her strength. Okay. This Four of Pentacles energy, this feels like a stubbornness sort of energy, or not letting go of something that has to do with the past. Okay, because the Ace of Pentacles is there, and I just don't understand why they are doing this. When I get off of here, I'm about to call them. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, yeah, please. Thank you. I love you. All right, bye. All right. Oh, okay. So, what was I saying? With the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles I have labeled as the keys to the kingdom of some sort. Okay, but this is it's like I said in her monthly reading, she was gearing up for something. She has a choice. She has a choice to make as we move into the middle of the week. Okay, what that choice is, I have no clue. It has to do with, as we move from here, right? She's looking back on past wisdom. There's a mysteriousness to her. No one knows what I don't think that people know what she's going to do. Okay, and she's holding on to something, and it's next to the High Priestess, some sort of mystery or secret. And she's looking back at her mother's words to her. Okay, and it is fueling something, some new opportunity. Okay, something that she is looking at and thinking about. And as we move into midweek, we have the Ten of Swords. Okay, the Two of Swords touching the Four of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands on top of, with the Eight of Cups next to it. Eight of Cups is, you're trying to decide if you're staying or going. Should I continue? Should I go, should I walk into this thing this new beginning, despite the uncertainty of it, despite the risk of it, despite, and it feels like that's the decision she has to make. But as we move, I'll get to that. Okay? Well, but it feels like that's the choice she has to make with the Lovers here. Okay? And there might be some confusion midweek, perhaps, with the Two of Swords there, or confusion in terms of like feeling stuck even. Do I do this? Because two of Wands is they represent plans, and again, the thing I keep seeing her grab. Okay, and the ten of Swords here is again next to the Eight of Cups. It's like walking out of something painful, walking into something new, perhaps uncertain or risky. Okay, you see that? Look. Walking out of something painful and into painful, to a painful situation, into something with the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is a healing card, and it's after the Ten of Swords. It's a card of healing. It's a card of transforming emotionally. It's moving into walking into something better, even though it's uncertain, risky. Okay, but it is better. That is the choice she is making. Okay, with the Two of Swords is there. It's like, stuck. Can't quite make a decision yet, but she moves out of that energy. There's her opportunities and her choices that she's not talking about, that she's not sharing with the Four of Pentacles and the High Priestess, because she's trying to decide. And here she's beginning to make her decision. This Monday and Tuesday, it feels like, as we move into the midweek, she is thinking about what she wants to build, okay, what she wants to invest in with herself. The Nine of Pentacles is next to the Seven of Pentacles. What she wants to continue on is a grounded energy here. It's like, I've made my choice. And it also feels like, let's see here. Let me see. Does the Lovers in this reading represent a choice she has made? Does the Lovers represent a choice she has made? Okay. Nope, not yet. Because the Hangman is there. Okay, it's an overall energy. That's what I figured. Okay. It's like she has to make a choice about these two things. Even the Eight of Cups. The King of Pentacles. I feel like she's presented with options here. Okay. These two cards here is about her future. Do I want to continue? She's not going anywhere. She said that. Do I want to continue to invest in this thing? Okay. I see like I see roots is what my guides are showing me. Like this. See these roots? But they more look like tunnels under the earth. And they're, it's like tunnels they're showing. Different directions you could go into from each tunnel. And perhaps leading to the same place. And so that is the decision she has to make with the Eight of Cups, moving into something that's about her future, her legacy. Okay, the King of Pentacles, she, making a practical choice even. Do I just walk away from all of this? The Wheel of Fortune is on top of all of this as well. So let's see, does this represent her choice? Does the Wheel of Fortune represent her choice? It says yes. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to ask, where are we with I'm going to ask the question that is burning in a lot of people's mind. And it has to, I feel like it may has to do with all of this here. Okay, but we'll see. Let me use my right hand. You guys see that? Okay, has Kamala Harris decided to walk away from the presidency? Has Kamala Harris decided to walk away from the presidency? Has Kamala Harris decided to walk away from the presidency? It's saying no. Okay? I know people have said to me, sure, she may have, that's not what I'm being shown or told and what I've seen. Okay? Could have been a consideration, but people, their energies shift and change based on circumstances or your emotions, I think this is what this is about. How? I don't know. Definitely about her future. Definitely about her purpose. With the Wheel here. And it's almost like she's deciding to make this decision. Her plans are behind her. Right? Her plans are behind her. It's touching the Eight of Cups, walking into something better. The Wheel of Fortune is, sometimes it's like, I know. I said, it'll turn out okay. I can make this choice. Whatever that is. Okay, I'm not making predictions. This here, Seven of Swords, Five of Cups. This is what she's been carrying around with her since November. The Seven of Swords, okay, this toxicity, the situation being toxic, thievery, covert strategic planning, the loss, okay, the Five of Cups. There's always two cups behind. Now, it depends on the person if they look back. It depends on the person's energy and the personality. They can look back at the two cups. Always. That's how I always look at the Five of Cups. And he got the Five of Cups. But is Donald Trump someone who can look, even though he ignores his problems, even though he wants to look at the bright side or be delusional, when things are bad, and or when someone says something bad about him, or he's triggered in some way, he's vulnerable towards his insecurity, can he look back at those two cups? No, he cannot. He doesn't have the ability. Okay, Kamala can, because the sun is here, and the Emperor is here. And she's not someone who ignores her problems, okay, because I'm looking at the other cards. But these two things, this may come up in the following week. And I'm not saying exposure, you know, this whole big thing, but I'm saying people, I don't know, it feels like this thing that she carries around with her, if she's going to be doing more speaking engagements, this Tower moment is because of these two things. This past deception, this thing she's grieving, it came out twice. The Tower came out twice for her. This Tower moment is something she will do that will shake something up. Because the end cards is the Sun and the Emperor. Let's see. Is the Tower energy Kamala doing something to shake something up? Is the Tower energy Kamala doing something? Saying yes. Okay, let's see. Will it be shocking? You know, the Tower is shocking upheaval. Does the Tower energy represent a shocking upheaval from Kamala? Okay. Saying yes. Okay. Will it be from something? Will it be from something she will say? Will it be from something she will say? Saying no. Okay, clear the center, please. Will it be from a decision she will make? Will it be from a decision she will make? Saying no. Okay, clear the center. Will it be from something she will do? Will it be from something she will do? Will it be from something she will do? Saying yes. Okay. Then we have the Emperor. We have the Emperor and the Sun. Shedding light on your leadership abilities, okay? Organizing, showing your authority, getting abundance, something being exposed. Is this her? Is this? Let's see. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Does the Emperor energy represent Donald Trump? Is the Emperor energy? No, I didn't think so. It's swinging in heavy now. Okay, this is her energy. She's gonna come into something powerful, and she's gonna feel happy about it, and satisfied, and contented, and abundant. She's gonna feel abundance. Whatever choice she makes, whatever power she's stepping into, she's always had power. She has power. We'll see next week. It's very 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 major cards. 6, the Hangman, and the Page of Cups. Always the Hangman. Okay. This feels like, you know what this honestly feels like? The Page of Cups is here. The Hangman is here, but it feels like it's saying no, the time is now. Because I'm looking at these other cards, I don't see delays necessarily outside of this energy here. But the end doesn't denote. Sometimes the Hangman could be like, the time for waiting is over. It's time to take action. Let's see. Does the Hangman here represent a pause? Does the Hangman in this is saying no? Okay, clear the center. Does the Hangman in this reading represent the pause is over, it's time to take action? Does the Hangman in this reading represent an end to the delay? Now it's time to act. Okay, saying yes. Okay, because the Page of Cups is, Page of Cups is about implementing ideas in a creative way, it's about your intuition, following your intuition, okay, that sort of thing. Being inspired, it's something about being creative or doing something in a creative way. Okay, so that's Kamala. I mean, that's heavy. Interesting. We'll see. It's interesting that she would come out in April. I mean, I saw her before then make a speech. We all saw it, or some of us. But I feel like we will see more of her because she's shifted in a different way. So we'll see we may not see the High Priestess is there, what choice she's making. Okay? But it's there. Let's see what happens. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you for staying with me for the 2 hours. I appreciate it. I want you guys to have a good weekend. Thank you for bearing witness to the dynamic with my sisters. I love them. They don't know what I'm doing in here. They have an idea, but they don't get the concept. So they're always loud when they come here, and I happen to be recording, but that's okay. I'm not going to edit it out the video because we're on real, right? Anyway, I hope you got something out of this reading. I will see you guys on Monday for the story continues again. If you want to send me a link for your small business for Small Business Monday, you can, moonlightenergy15@gmail.com. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.